Hey, talo falava. My name is Leotawa Dr. John Peterson. You're watching TE2 Edge Sports Cards. TE2 Edge Sports Cards is associated with TE2 Consulting, and we are a consulting firm that deals with education, lobbying, real estate, as well as sports cards. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and leave me a comment. I would appreciate it if you would do that, and look forward to doing this video. So we're here with another episode of the Junk Wax Chronicles. It just keeps on flowing. I'm not sick of the junk wax yet, so I'm hoping that you're still enjoying watching the videos. What I did for this one is we're going to do a little bit with 1990 Topps baseball, which I've talked about. One of the things that I did is I cut the rack packs so that it wouldn't take so long for me to open them, and you wouldn't have to wait and watch me open the packs. Really what we're looking for here are Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards, the rookie cup card, excuse me, as well as the Frank Thomas rookie card. At the end of this video, I will show you what I have pulled so far. This is the third of 3 rack pack boxes, of which there are 24 rack packs per box. So this is basically a rack pack case, because a rack pack case has 3 boxes in it. So I got the boxes from BBCE. They were about $80 per box. I think it's close to 10,000 cards. There's a nice pucket. One actually looks pretty well centered. Might get that graded. I live in the Twin Cities here, so I like to get a few Puckett cards graded, put those out. People still like Kirby Puck, even though he is passed on. Rest in love, Kirby Puckett. What a great player he was. Oh my goodness. He was the Brewers' nemesis. I was a Brewers fan growing up. Had a lot of respect and still have a lot of respect for Kirby's game, though. I know he had some personal stuff that wasn't maybe the best, but as a baseball player, which is what I judge him on, I thought he was one of the absolute greatest players of his era. And had he not gotten glaucoma, he would have gone on to have an even greater career than he did. I mean, as it turned out, he made the Hall of Fame, and I don't think he played more than 10 years. Excuse me. So we're going through this rack pack box. I do have a surprise at the end of the video that I want to share with you all. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just a lot of stuff not worth a whole lot, but you know, the Griffey, they call it an error card because of the bloody spot on his arm. I don't know, I haven't seen a version of that card without that spot on his arm, so I don't know what that's all about. But as a PSA 10, that Griffey 1990 Topps Griffey card, the one we're chasing here, there's a pretty nice Tony. It's down at the bottom, got a little nick down there. I think $300 to $400 card. So yeah, this is a much better way to go about doing this box break. Then you're not sitting there watching me open up packs of rack packs. Oh man, this card, I've pulled about 3 or 4 of these, and none of them are centered. And I think that's his Topps rookie card, if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to get a nice copy of that. I love Deion Sanders. He was an amazing athlete. I mean, Bo Jackson was the first to do it. Well, let's be honest, Jim Thorpe was the first to do it back in the 19-teens and 20s. Jim Thorpe played both baseball and he played football. He also ran track and was an Olympic gold medalist. You know, made American Indian guy, actually, Jim Thorpe was. I would say greatest athletes of the, here's a Bo Jackson. So I'm going to get these graded. If you look though, there's a little bit of a line. You can kind of see that in the light. There's a print line on this one, so probably, maybe sell it raw. We'll see. Yeah, I'm really enjoying opening these packs. It brings back a lot of memories growing up as a kid. I think that's a Bernie Williams rookie card. Set that aside. That one looks like it's in pretty good shape. Big issue with these are just the centering. Mostly the corners are in pretty decent condition. When you get boxes from cases, unless the case was significantly damaged, the cards on the inside of a case usually hold up pretty well over time. One thing I do like about these cards too is that they've got the matte finish. They don't have the glossy finish, and so they don't stick together like the 90s cards do from Topps. Which is something you really have to watch, because if they stick together to the point where it's impossible to separate them, you're dealing with bricked cards, and you know, you're looking at card loss. Juan Gonzalez, yeah, unfortunately he got caught up in all the roids. Same with this guy, Jose Canseco. I don't know. I think they should. I think the steroids thing is not right. I'm not saying it was okay, but everyone was doing it, and you know, the Major League Baseball knew about it. Bud Selig knew about it during 1998 in the home run chase, and he didn't say anything about it then. So I don't know why some get into the Hall of Fame like Bud Selig when they knowingly turned a blind eye to steroids, and then the guys who did it, you know, are not allowed in the Hall of Fame. It doesn't make sense to me. There are people in the Hall of Fame that have done lots of horrible things. Ty Cobb was just a out and out racist, just terrible racist. He's in the Hall of Fame. What, are you going to not have Ty Cobb in the Hall of Fame because he's a racist? Give me a break. You know, and there's guys who were womanizers. Wade Boggs was a total womanizer. Slept around with all sorts of women. Is he not going to be in the Hall of Fame? No, he's in. So I think they kind of pick and choose who gets to be in and who doesn't get to be in based on criteria that are a little bit fuzzy to me. And I don't think that's right. You know, if you're not going to have Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, and that whole crew in the Hall of Fame, then Bud Selig shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Shit, Pudge Rodriguez is in the Hall of Fame, and he took roids. He played for the Texas Rangers when Canseco was with the Rangers. Canseco, Gonzalez, Rafael Palmeiro, and Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, they all did roids. David Ortiz said he did roids. And he's in the Hall of Fame. So why is David Ortiz in the Hall of Fame and these other guys are not? Especially Bonds. Bonds was a baller. You know, it kind of actually makes me annoyed that he's not. I think it's kind of an injustice. And some people are purists. They think, well, you know, he cheated. Well, he wouldn't be the first person who cheated who's in the Hall of Fame. I can tell you that much. And honestly, for a time period, was it actually cheating to use performance-enhancing drugs? What were the rules at that time? I don't know. I'm asking the question. You know, maybe you can leave something in the comment. This was a card that was kind of a hit back in the day. He actually hit some home runs, but had a pretty short career. I'm gonna put these over here. So anyway, I feel like, Bonds, technically hit more home runs than any other player in the history of the game, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. How does that work? Man, we've gotten a lot of Keith Hernandez's in this box. I think that's the third or fourth one I've seen. All right, there's a Cal Ripken. Sometimes I like, if it's a card that is really in nice shape, that really has a chance to gem, I might get it graded. Typically, though, not with PSA. Just because the cost of grading those cards is too high. And PSA is like, I think, arbitrarily holding their gem rates down. That's a nice Ripken. And again, it's got kind of a line across the top, though. So, yeah, I don't know. There are people that vehemently disagree with me, that think that, you know, Bonds and those guys shouldn't, definitely not be in the Hall of Fame. So everybody's got their opinions. I got mine, and they have theirs. Here's a Sheffield. This guy should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. That's his second-year card, though. I'm not gonna. This is Topps All-Star Rookie Cup card, but I'm not gonna have that graded. It's 89 Topps. I've got a bunch of those. Got a whole sheet of them. So maybe get some of those graded. That card actually, in a Gem 10, is worth a little bit of money. That was a hot card back in the day, Van McDonald. So I just watched Sports Card Investor, Jeff Wilson's channel, and they did a 1996 Topps basketball, Topps Chrome basketball, Topps basketball Chrome, whatever you want to call it, box break. They did an auction on whatnot. It was pretty cool. I like that channel. I know some people are critical of him, and I think some of it is warranted. Some of it I think is not. I think they're just jealous. I think he puts out good content. It's not his fault his channel is as successful as it is. I wish my channel was that successful. Oh, got a Griffey coming. Here's why. Omar Vizquel. So if Omar Vizquel, if you see Jeff Kunkel, Doug Drabeck, especially Omar Vizquel and Eddie Murray, there's the Griffey. Fortunately, this one is not centered. That's a bummer, but that's the way it goes. I'll show you all the Griffies that I got out of this case. I think I've done a little better on the Frank Thomases in terms of centering. I'll still get this graded in a CSG slab. Yeah, maybe comes back as an 8 or an 8.5. Put 25 bucks on it. Somebody might want it. Put it in the Ultra Pro. I use the Ultra Pro, the semi-rigids. It's just easier for me. Put it there. Put it there. All right, let's keep going. So a whole case. So the case was 80 times 3, 240 bucks. But I think you'll see at there's a Randy Johnson. Not his rookie card though, second year card. There's a Bonds. I think you'll see that, I mean, of course, you have to find somebody to buy the cards. That's the biggest question. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But I think you'll find that when I show you the cards at the end, and the surprise at the end, you're gonna see that the value is definitely there with junk wax, particularly this junk wax. Oh shoot. Oh, I knocked over the camera. Well, that's all right. Like I said, this is not a high production value operation here, although I must say I've really enjoyed this new camera. I think I maybe mentioned that already. That's Rapper City here. Chris Sabo, he was a decent player. Jesse Parfield. So it'd be nice if we get another Griffey. There's another Sheffield. Another thing you want to have is you want to have these bad boys. for storing the cards. They're like a must. Otherwise, it becomes really unmanageable. Okay, now this pocket, shoot, it's got a little bit of mark there. That's the first one of this card that I found. I might get that graded. Again, Puckett. Puckett does well up here in the Twin Cities. It's like Kevin Garnett, you know, he was a Timberwolf, played for the Timberwolves. One of the things I'm curious about when I open up these boxes of junk wax is like the number of, like the frequency of the hits. You know, how many do you get? This is a huge set. Like this is almost an 800 card set. So of course, the higher the number of cards in the set, where Will Clark, the you know, lower the chances are that you're going to get the hit cards. You know, the rookie cards, the Ken Griffey Jr.'s, the Bo Jacksons, stuff like that. So I feel like hitting the Griffey Jr. was tough back in 1990. I mean, I think I might have pulled a couple back in the day, like one, maybe two. I've heard that it's not, here's a Bo Jackson. That's a great card. I'm gonna get all those Bo Jacksons graded. I've heard the Ken Griffey Jr. card is a tough card to pull. There's a Ricky Henderson. So, geez, I keep hitting this camera. My goodness. Sorry about that, guys. If anybody's watching, you're seeing me flub up the camera by. There's an arm to this, so when I pull my hand back, I'm hitting the right side of the camera stand. Let's do this. Put this pile here. Like that, slide it over. There we go. So we're about halfway through the rack, pack, box. So I have a second one of these, if you can believe that. I bought 2 cases. Got 10% off on both, which is great. BBCE takes good care of me. I give them pretty good business, consistent good business, and they give me 10% off pretty much on everything that I buy, at least wax. I do buy a decent amount of stuff from them, so, you know, and I don't get taxed on it either. So I have another case of this, like I was saying before I paused there. And I probably, there's a Maddox. I probably will not open that one up. You know, some might say, well, what's the point of buying it if you're not going to open it up, especially if it's junk wax? I don't know. Might just give it a little bit of a rest here with 90 tops and maybe focus on something else. I still got 3 boxes of 90 score, which has the Bo Jackson cards in it. And then I've got 89 Bowman. I've got a ton of 89 Bowman. I mean, I've got a case of 89 Bowman that has 24 boxes in it. And I think there's 30 some packs per box. And I've also got a Bowman rack pack case. I love the 89 Bowman because it's the return of Bowman, right? They went away in 54, and you know, they probably were not making money trying to compete with Topps, and they went away in 1954. And here, I'll show you a 1954 Bowman. This is a good one. That's a 1954 Bowman. That's Vic Wertz. He's famous for hitting the ball that went over Willie Mays' head, and Willie Mays made the basket catch. I think that was the 54, might have been the 1954 World Series, possibly. Somewhere in that time frame. So the Bowman, 89 Bowmans are the return of Bowman after what? Well, 89 minus 54, whatever that is. I'm not a math guy. And the 89 Bowmans are a little oversized, which is cool. I like that. And the Griffey Jr. card, that's a nice hit. That's a tough card to find centered. And I find it to be a tough card to pull. Like the rate with which you find that card in that set seems to me to be relatively low. And then when you get it, it tends to be not centered. So I got a rack pack case of that, 3 boxes of rack packs, and then a big case that I don't plan to open up really anytime soon. I don't typically like to break open cases. I'm breaking open these cases because they're not too expensive, but that's kind of partly true, partly not true. I opened up a case. No, I didn't open up that case. I bought boxes. 2014, thinking I was had opened up a box or a case of 2014 Topps Chrome, and Topps, or not Topps Chrome, but Topps Chrome and Bowman, 2014 Bowman Chrome. But I ended up selling the Bowman Chrome case, and the Topps Chrome case is currently on auction right now. Oh, here's Frank Thomas. The Frank Thomas cards come back centered really nicely. I'm going to show you what I mean at the end here. I think they come back more centered than the Griffey cards, more consistently. Now, there is an error card, Frank Thomas error card. This is his rookie Topps card. And this card's worth some money. I mean, it's not worth hundreds of dollars in a Gem Mint 10, but still is a nice card to have. I mean, he's a great player, Hall of Famer. But the error card is very rare and is very valuable. And there's 2 different errors. There's this card, which has his name. Then there's the error card, which has no name on it. And then there's a error card that has like the name blacked out. I don't know. The error card is worth, I think a Gem Mint error card sold for, I don't know, thousands of dollars here a couple of years back. I want to say in PSA it sold for $22,000, but that was like 5 years ago. So what's it worth today? Don't know. Probably a decent amount though. So that's one reason why I bought these cases of 1990 Topps, because, you know, even though the chances are small, minute, you know, there's always a shot that you can get, that you can pull something like that. So, and in that regard, it's pretty low risk, potentially really high reward, which ultimately is what you're looking for. I mean, you're looking to get some steady Eddie cards with whatever you buy. You know, you want to at least get your money's worth from the box, which doesn't always happen. So there you go. So basically for this deal, I've got to get $250 worth of value. Doesn't mean I'm going to sell them. Don't get me wrong. You guys still got to find a buyer. But in terms of just the graded value, I got to get $250 out of this deal, which I think I will pretty easily surpass. All it takes is one Gem Mint of the Frank Thomas or the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, and you've already surpassed the investment you made in purchasing the 2 cases. And I haven't even opened up the second case. So, oh, well, this has been kind of a slower group here. I've gotten 1 Frank Thomas and 1 Griffey Jr. rookie card. There's a George Brett. Yeah, some people hate. Oh, shoot. Still not centered. Days. That's a hard card to find centered. Some people didn't like this set. They didn't. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Just keep knocking that camera over. That's really annoying. Sorry about that, guys. And gals, if there's any gals watching. Hope there's some gals watching. Some people didn't like this set. They didn't like the border. Too flashy, too much color. Yeah, the Nolan Ryan's a nice card, but that's not centered. I didn't mind this set. It's not my favorite top set. But I think for the 90s, it's kind of like emblematic of like the early 1990s. There's another Sheffield, like 3rd or 4th Sheffield. Yeah, I apologize about knocking the camera down. That's my bad. I got too many cards going here. There's another Ripken. Yeah, I think if you can pull Ripkins and get them in gem mint, which is, of course, tough to do with cards that are 32 years old, I think they sell. I think there's quite a few Cal Ripken fans out there. Even though he's been retired for a long time. Well, we're coming down to the last couple packs here. We have not pulled. Oh, we're coming down to the last pack. Wow. Okay, this was a little drier box. All right, that's it. Okay, so let's review what we got, and then I'll show you the surprise at the end. All right, so I bought, again, just to review, a rack case of 1990 Topps baseball cards. Okay, there were 3 boxes with 24 rack packs in each box. I opened up the entire box. This is what I pulled for Griffey Juniors. I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 Frank Thomases, and 3 Bo Jacksons. So not bad. Now, of course, there's other stars, Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn and all that sort of thing. But in terms of cards that will definitely get graded, all these cards will get graded, unless there's some sort of significant defect with the card. Even the ones that aren't centered, like this one, will get graded. Is there a 10 in here? That's not a 10. 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 So none of the Griffies are a 10. The Thomas, this one looks pretty close to a 10. I don't see any issues with this. This one? No. This one? No. This one? Possibly. Possibly. And then the Jacksons. So, I mean, really looking at 2 Frank Thomases carrying the purchase. However, there is the surprise, which I just wanted to save to the end. So, unlike the first box, I went through all the rack packs to see if there were any good cards showing on the rack pack, because you can see through the rack packs. And what I discovered in one of the rack packs in this box was this rack pack. All right, this rack pack. So if you look really closely at this rack pack, you can see who this is. It's Ken Griffey Jr. So I don't know if PSA grades these, but I would love to see if I could get this graded and see if I could get an 8 or a 9 or even a 10 on the rack pack itself, and then sell the rack pack with the Griffey on top. So, and it's kind of hard to see if it's doesn't look like a 10, but still having the Griffey on top is pretty cool. So I don't know what that's worth. I don't know what that can fetch in an auction, but it's definitely worth trying. All right, thanks for watching. That was a 31-minute video. Man, I'm just pumping out the videos here left and right these days. Appreciate you watching. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Check me out on eBay, RJP2532. Check me out on My Slabs. Just do a search and put in TE2. Same thing for eBay. And have a blessed night. Peace out and one love.